It's time for Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell. Breaking down game-changing plays, momentum-shifting moves, the inside scoop on the team and what's next for the Noles. Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell, live from downtown Tallahassee. ABC 27 presents Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell. Sponsored by these businesses.
Well, what a weekend for Noles fans in New Orleans, and culminating in an amazing finish last night inside the Caesars Superdome as Mike Norvell and the Florida State Seminoles. It's the block on the bayou is what they're calling it last night. No time on the clock, getting the job done, 2-0, beating LSU in front of a sold-out crowd, 24-23. Welcome inside Seminole Football. My name is Jeff Culhane, of course, here with the head coach, Mike Norvell. Coach, welcome back.
What a trip.
Wow.
It was an awesome game, and just really proud of our players. I know we talked last week about the things it was going to take, and we knew it was going to be a 60-minute game. We definitely made it a lot more stressful than what it needed to be, but at the end, when your heart, your effort, when that shows up and makes a difference, just what an extraordinary opportunity that we had to showcase a little bit of the identity of what this football team's all about and the work they put in.
Yeah, you talk so much about culture and heart and all of those items and how your team has come together. Where did you feel like all of those traits shine through from your squad as you're watching this game back and forth all the way to the end last night?
We talk a lot about our response, and anybody can have a good response when things are going well, but ultimately whenever you face a little adversity, when maybe things don't go the way that you picture it or imagine it, how are you going to respond in that moment? And as you look at last night, all of us, players, coaches, everybody involved, we all have things that we're going to have to get better at, that we're going to have to do a better job of here as we move forward. But the guys, they never flinched. They were just ready to play the next play, and even after when LSU scored their last touchdown, and I saw them run the field goal team out there. I looked out at the guys and said, one play right here, and you don't know how it's all gonna play out, but ultimately our guys were in a position and they went and executed and made a play that's going to be remembered forever because of that moment and seizing that opportunity.
Take me through it from your vantage point. That final block.
It was remarkable. Earlier in the game, Jared Verse had blocked an earlier field goal, and Jared's was so impactful, played so well last night. But because of that earlier play, they really over-adjusted and tried to block down on him, and it gave Shaheen just a clean run. He did a great job, got an incredible get-off, and took all the things that we worked through fall camp and in our preparation, and in the moment was able to execute and made an incredible play.
You've been a part of a lot of I'm sure fun and amazing locker rooms after a win. What would you tell folks that moment was like for your football team and for your staff and yourself last night?
It was special. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and we knew the stage we were on. That was the only football game on in the country, and everybody had eyes on Florida State, and when they got to see the heart of the young men that we coach, the resiliency that they showed, the effort. That was a game that I thought we dominated throughout. Now, unfortunately, we didn't put the game away as we needed to, but we still got an opportunity to showcase who we are and just the belief that those guys have in each other, and when I got in that locker room, I think Jared Jackson picked me up and threw me around like a doll, but no, it was fun. Just being able to celebrate with those players. We talked about the things that we did well, and the things we're going to continue to work on, and that's one of the things I also appreciated as we flew back to Tallahassee last night. It was late night, and everybody was excited, but there's also that sense of urgency for improvement and that we have to be better. And so great win, great celebration, but our guys know the steps that are ahead and our continued growth.
It comes to mind for me when you bring that up. Obviously, you celebrate the moment like you talked about, but there's plenty there, right, where you can turn on the film and go, guys, that's a great win. We're 2-0, but look how much better we have out there for ourselves.
Absolutely, and that's what gives you. It's good to learn the lessons in a win, and we have plenty of lessons to learn. There were a lot of situations that showed up in the course of that game where, just a little bit better focus, a little bit better execution. As coaches, we look back at things that we did schematically and calls that were made, and now it's time to go back and let's continue to build off that and learn the lessons and be able to apply them as we go through the course of this season. But ultimately, you get one opportunity, you get one night, one chance to go out there and do all that you can to win the game, and our guys were able to get that done, and really proud of our football team, and excited for the continued steps here as we're moving forward.
I always like asking this, when you have a moment like that, I'm sure your cell phone was like the 4th of July, lighting up with thank yous or congratulations messages. Was there a message from a mentor or someone that reached out to you last night that jumps out that really stuck with you?
I think the one thing that collectively was seen from people that were not at the game, they saw the passion, the buy-in, the care that this team has for each other. They love playing together, and it didn't matter. I mean, it was, guys were having each other's back, and the effort, the physicality, the toughness, that's what showed up. And that was through all the messages, and I'm grateful for everybody that reached out, but that was the things that continued to come across. And then, I do have to give you a shout out, because I did get to see hear the final call, and hey, let's give Jeff a crown. Unbelievable job on calling that last play. It was really really special.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You teed us up pretty good for a crazy finish to try and capture, and we had fun with it. So thank you very much. Another memory made for Noles fans in NOLA last night. How about that? As Mike Norvell and company, a 24-23 win over LSU. Just getting started, live from Couche's in College Town. Come enjoy good food, good folks, and good times at Couche's Bayou Rouge. Couche's offers authentic South Louisiana cuisine and some of the best burgers and wings in town. Coming out to Couche's in College Town, the home of Inside Seminole football. We're having a good time recapping this one from last night as you're watching us live on ABC 27 and listening on the Seminole Sports Network from Learfield. Back live, Couche's in College Town, Inside Seminole football with the head coach Mike Norvell, a 24-23 winner over LSU in the battle for the Big Easy at the Superdome down in New Orleans. And you go back and you think about all the plays that materialize the end result of that game. Coach, I go back to play number 2 of this contest last night, and the ball thrown by Jane Daniels to Keyshawn Booty in the end zone, and it looks like he might have it. And then Akeem Dent makes an amazing play, getting his hand in there and knocking it away early in the contest. There's so many of these, obviously, you look up. But, man, that's when I think about how that could have been a tone setter in a different way if Akeem doesn't hustle and make that play.
Absolutely. And Akeem's playing with such great confidence. And you see just his continued growth, from what he was able to do last year, carrying it over here to the early parts of this season. That was a huge play. And you never know when that one play might make the difference. So that was essentially a 4-point swing. You were able to keep him out of the end zone, you held him to a field goal. And, when you look back at it, all those singular plays building up, really gave us an incredible, opportunity to be able to point back to that today and say, look, these are those moments. You never know if it's play 1 or the 50th play in the game. You always got to be on point for your opportunities.
Yeah, time now for What's on Tap, brought to you by the official craft beer of the Florida State Seminoles, Oyster City Brewing Company. Check out the tap room on Gain Street. I have a feeling there was a lot of Oyster City beer drank last night after that contest. What's on tap this week? Into the bye week and preparing now 11 days away for your ACC opener on the road at Louisville next Friday.
It's just continued growth for us, and we'll take the lessons that we had yesterday, and we got to apply and continue to improve on some of those little things. Tomorrow we'll treat as a normal Sunday. We gave the guys off today, just with us getting in so late, so we gave them off today. We'll come back tomorrow, kind of clean up a lot of things from the game, and then we'll have basically a modified Tuesday, Wednesday, introducing Louisville, but also making sure that we're continuing on our growth and just a continued progression progression for what we have ahead.
We're going to talk with defensive coordinator Adam Fuller towards the end of the show tonight. What was your thoughts on his defensive group's effort last night?
I thought they were dominant through much of the game, and there were some things that showed up that where we assisted in allowing drives to extend, and we got to get those things continue to be lined out. But Adam's done a wonderful job with our defense, and just the physicality, the speed, the toughness absolutely stopped the running game of LSU, and that quarterback presented some challenges with just how he ran around and scrambled, but we're able to develop a really good pass rush, made some impactful plays, and I like the trajectory our defense is heading.
You mentioned Jared Verse earlier, and we've talked about that young man quite a bit, but wow, certainly living up to those expectations, Coach, with 3 sacks through 2 games so far.
No, he's done a wonderful job, in his first couple games as a Seminole, and he's got a bright future in front of him. And even if you go back and watch the game, there were still a couple of other opportunities that I know he's excited to continue to work to finish on.
What are some of the teachable moments on the defensive side? Like you talked about, Jane Daniels. That's a guy that puts a lot of pressure on you with his legs and did some nice things for them last night. You're going to see another one coming up next weekend in Malik Cunningham for Louisville. What are your big takeaways on how your group up front made life difficult on a quarterback that moves around and tries to extend plays?
It's twofold. One, we were able to get him off his point, which, is something you want to be able to make that impact. We got to continue to clean up some of the rush lanes, to try to hold them in and keep them contained, but that's going to happen at times. And but the effort, how our guys pursue the football and being able to get him down and really force. When you look at their scoring drives, they did a nice job there, especially late, and being able to take take the short passes, and they really had to be methodical with their drives. Like I said, there's some things we're going to have to continue to improve on to get them off the field. But I thought we eliminated the big play. That was a very talented receiving core. Obviously you talk about the quarterback. And he was a very experienced and talented player. But we were able to keep him contained, but just got to continue to work on those finer details as we go through the season.
Man, I tell you, preparing for this game, you guys putting the game plan together. You mentioned their receiving core, All-Americans, NFL caliber type of guys. You got All-Americans and NFL caliber guys in your back end as well, and they definitely showed out in a big-time way.
Well, they did. And when you look at the 3 levels, it started up front. Being able to get a pass rush, being able to, really try to impact the quarterback where he just couldn't sit back there and get in a rhythm and time. We were able to disrupt that. I thought our guys were great in coverage. We had a few times late in the games where guys were slipped or had a misstep here or there, but ultimately, it takes all 3 levels, as you can mix man and zone coverages. Our guys are playing with a lot of confidence in what they're trying to do, and then being able to eliminate the run game. That's one of the things that was, I thought, the best out of the game. I think their running backs maybe had 30 yards rushing for the contest, but, being able to make them one-dimensional, really is something that we're going to have to build upon, and, I really like the personnel we have and what they're showing.
We mentioned Keyshawn Bootie's name earlier, and I know when it comes to how you guys prepare, you talk a lot about how it's about what we do, how we go about it, how we execute our game plan. When you have a player of that caliber, do you focus a little more on a guy like that? But with that being said, they got so many guys you got to focus on.
No, they had 5 legitimate receivers that all could present challenges, and we told our defensive backs last week that we were going to be aggressive, and we played a lot of aggressive bump and run defense, tried to disrupt the timing game, the timing passing game, and then also being a first game of theirs. We didn't have a large menu of how they were going to utilize that, so we had to adjust on the run, as we were going throughout the course of the game. But I thought our guys did a really nice job, and it was a great start, and we're going to have to build upon it.
Roll along here live from Couches in College Town with the head coach Mike Norvell, a 24-23 win for the Florida State Seminoles over LSU last night down in New Orleans. Hey, visit Seminoles.com/FFBI sweeps and register for the chance to win a VIP experience to the Clemson game. Winner gets hotel accommodations, 4 tickets to the game, 4 hospitality passes, and Knowles gear. Register today at Seminoles.com/FFBI sweeps. Watching live on ABC 27, you're listening to Inside Seminole Football from Learfield. Well, tonight, New Orleans, Knowles fans, you couldn't keep them off of Bourbon Street last night. I can promise you that following the ending of that game and a 24-23 win over LSU. By the way, we're going to have the hero, the man himself, the block on the bayou, Mr. Shaheen Brown, will be with us coming up in moments to talk about and recreate that play. Back here live at Couches in College Town with the head coach, Mike Norvell. How about our Tijuana Flats queso question? This one's from Wayne in Tallahassee. Coach, with all the great work on special teams last night, specifically the blocks, how often do you guys work that aspect? Field goal block, PAT block, how often do you drill that?
I mean, it's a daily thing, and it's one thing that Coach JP and I were talking about last night is, when you talk to players about the importance of the rep, and you never know, and we actually go live on our field goal quite often, and there's a lot of programs that don't do that, but the importance of and each time you take the field to be able to either score points or keep points off the board, and that's what showed up last night. And just the we talk about the special teams unit, our pride, we call it our pride unit for our field goal block. I mean, that's got to be an identity unit. Another thing I'd like to talk about is just our kickoff coverage unit. Yes, I mean, we had a couple of errant kicks there early, but we were able to get that lined out, and just seeing guys and the speed of how they're covering down the field. Had a couple of incredible plays that were made on that. I mean, just the buy-in into our special teams unit, creating the 2 takeaways with our punt unit. I mean, those are those program-defining culture plays that I'm just so proud to see that showing up because of the investment we put into our special teams units.
Well, yeah, punt coverage as well with 2 muff punts last night. Your guys were with Malik Neighbors just swarming, waiting for him, and they obviously caused some stress as he wasn't able to lock that in and make it happen.
Well, it's and then Alex Mastromano, I mean, he does a great job. He's had a couple of wonderful punts, and I tell guys all the time, you never know when the ball's going to come out, and I try to speak it into existence. And I told him throughout the course of the week, I said the ball will come out this week, and we had an opportunity it happened twice, and we were able to capitalize on both of those instances. But you're really pleased with the work our guys are putting into special teams, and that's got to be a strong point for us as we move forward.
All right, so we're watching on my laptop here the first touchdown pass, and walk me through this play call. Ward to Pittman, back to Travis, down the field to Pokey Wilson on an end-around flea flicker, executed to perfection. That's one heck of a play call right there.
Well, it was play call's one thing, but seeing guys go out there and execute the way they did, and what I love about it is just it's a very unselfish play, because you ask guys. I mean, Trayshawn has to have a great pitch back to Micah. He has to find and make sure that he protects one side. After Micah pitched back to Jordan, I mean, I thought one of the stars of that play was seeing a 200-pound receiver go through everything he has into a 300-pound defensive lineman just to give Jordan a little bit of extra time, and then a great throw and catch from Jordan to Pokey, and that got us on the board, scored that first touchdown. A lot of momentum built off of that, and just an exciting play.
How proud are you of Pokey Wilson, 6th-year senior, unable to go last week, and back for your team, 2 big touchdown grabs, and that one-handed catch in the end zone in the second half. I mean, I tell you, that's a big-time Sunday play there.
Absolutely. And, I had 7 catches for over 100 yards. Was really a game changer for us. We tell our receivers all the time, you never know, when your opportunity is coming, but you got to be prepared in that moment. And, Pokey missed game 1. See him come out and make that type of impact, on that stage was really special. He's an incredibly hard worker and a great playmaker.
I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up your quarterback in this game, Jordan Travis, especially on 3rd downs in this contest. I believe 4 of his first 6 completions were on 3rd down, Coach, extending the drives.
Yeah, I mean, he was phenomenal. I thought that, his 3rd down, the 3rd down execution was as good as it's been. I think we're over 65% conversion rates. Really allowed us to control the game and extend drives. He's playing at a different level. And we've talked about it, coming out of fall camp, after game 1, and, he really even, raised the bar here this week against an incredibly talented defense. And that's what we need from Jordan. And more than anything else, just the leadership on the sideline. How he's always encouraging, he's uplifting. I mean, he stepped into a couple of throws with guys
Yes,
coming right there at him, and he never flinched and threw great balls, and even had a couple missed opportunities there that we didn't finish for him that I know we'll continue to work on. But I love what I'm seeing from Jordan, and I think the sky's the limit for him this season.
Well, the Noles are 2-0, ladies and gentlemen, after the win last night, the Big Easy, taking down LSU 24-23. We'll take a break, and one more with Coach coming up. Hey, did you know that reading one text while driving takes your eyes off the road for about 5 seconds? At 55 miles per hour, that's like driving the length of a football field with your eyes closed. Put your phone down and set aside all distractions. Don't drive distracted. Arrive alive. Brought to you by the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles. More to come with the head coach Mike Norvell live from Cooshes in College Town as you're watching live on ABC 27 and listening on the Seminole Sports Network from Learfield. Florida State, a 24-23 winner over LSU last night. And so many fantastic moments as we've been talking about them, reliving those with the head coach Mike Norvell here live from Cooshes in College Town. How about a Chick-fil-A stat nugget? We're going to hear from your defensive coordinator, Adam Fuller, coach, here in a moment. But right now, among teams with 2 games played this season, Florida State ranks first nationally in total defense, allowing just 256 yards per game. And third down defense as well, under 29% conversion for opponents. Those are some saucy numbers right there, my man.
Absolutely. We had high expectations for our defense coming into the season, and they're continuing each week to go out there and play at a high level, and looking forward to that further growth as we take those necessary steps as we get here into conference play.
Also, how about our keys to success from last night, brought to you by Scott & Wallace, the official law firm of the Florida State Seminoles, offices here in Tallahassee. I'm sure you've watched the film, you've taken a look at it, diagnosed, dissected it. What are the items that come to mind about the play on the field first for you with this one and the win over LSU?
Well, I think you see just the toughness, the grit, the mentality of how our guys play, whether it's receivers blocking downfield, the way that our guys run when they get the ball in their hands. I mean, we're always moving forward. And I thought the O-line really took some very positive steps, in what we need to see them do as we've gone through this early part of the season. And then defensively, just the mentality. I mean, I really like, the depth that we have, the speed that we're showing. We just have to eliminate some of those self-inflicted mistakes, and we had we extended a couple drives there. We missed a couple opportunities offensively. We got in the red zone, which has been a staple of success for us, and we had two times that we didn't score, which we've got to get corrected, and those were things that we controlled, and so I know our guys are excited about the opportunity to go out there and get better, and feel good about where we are.
Scott Wallace, the official law firm of the Florida State Seminoles, 222-7777 with offices in Tallahassee. I got to bring it up. My guy, bar none, William Floyd, in the booth near the goal line. Not only do you give the ball to fullback, you give the ball to your linebacker, DJ Lundy, who's playing fullback, near the goal line, putting 6 on the board. I mean, he was about ready to swan dive out of the booth, Coach. He was so fired up.
Well, and DJ is a great player, and it's funny because he's only in his 3rd year of playing linebacker. He was actually a high school running back, and that transition to senior year to starting to play some linebacker. So he's been our fullback since he's got here, and that's one of my favorite positions. So I get to coach him when he comes down there, and he's always ready, always willing, and it was good to see him get in the end zone last night.
Yeah, it really was. That was, you talk about different looks, different wrinkles. You definitely throw one out there on that one and showed the LSU defense something certainly different and unique in a big-time way. All right, as we're getting ready to say goodbye to you, we appreciate your time on a quick turnaround after a late night last night and a win in New Orleans. Bye week this week, and I know you want to celebrate this one, but you guys are focused and moving on as well very quickly to another big road game Louisville to open up ACC play next Friday.
Absolutely, and like I said, tomorrow we'll go through the corrections. We'll start the process. We'll have practice, to start implementing those lessons and the things that we need to improve in, and then it's all focused, going on to ACC play. And we've got to go out and continue to grow as a football team. Continue that maturation process, and like I said earlier, I mean, we're still at the beginning stages for what this season's going to be, and we've got to stay on path and just continue to build that edge for what we're capable of. And the great thing is we get to do it on another national stage Friday night. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have to go into a very hostile environment. Going to play Louisville, and I know our guys are going to work hard to get ready.
All right, so we thought about doing this last week, and Koosh had, of course, fired up some beignets for everybody in here, getting ready for the Big Easy for the French Quarter, right? And we thought about it. We said, nah, you had a black shirt on. I was going to spill it all over myself as well. But you said, hey, we get a win. We're going to eat beignets from Koosh's live on the show. And so we've got them right here. And
you wore the black shirt.
I wore the black shirt, of course, because I'm the fool right now. But, hey, Coach, congratulations on a win in New Orleans, 2-0, beating LSU.
Cheers,
sir. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, right here. All right. Yeah, this is probably not great for radio, better for TV overall. But those, Koosh and staff, those are fantastic. Coach, thanks so much for the time.
Well, and I do want to say, thank you for everybody that made it to New Orleans. I mean, what an incredible atmosphere. That was, the Seminoles took over New Orleans this weekend, and it was really special to see everybody. Just grateful for the support. What a great atmosphere, and looking forward to the future.
Wanted to bring up the folks, the Extra Point Club. They literally came right from the bus, drove back from New Orleans, came right here for the show tonight.
We have the best fan base in the country, and we're excited to come back. And now sitting at 2-0, we got great days ahead throughout the course of this season. But thanks so much, and go Noles.
All right, there you go, Coach. It's Mike Norvell, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Tijuana Flats wants to give Noles fans a free taco and chips every Friday this football season. Just wear your Noles gear into your local Tijuana Flats and mention the Noles Fridays promo to get your free taco and chips. It's that easy. So grab your Noles gear and head to Tijuana Flats, home of Noles Friday. More to come as you're watching on ABC 27 and listening to the Seminole Sports Network from Learfield. Live from Koosh's in College Town following Florida State's exciting, emphatic, impressive win over LSU last night, beating the Tigers by the final of 24-23, chopping them down to Bourbon City Kitties last night. As we are excited to be joined, let's a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. The block on the bayou, the man himself out of Lake City, Shaheen Brown with us. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Congratulations on what was just an amazing football game overall. Just take me through it. Give me your thoughts on what it means to you and what it means to your friends and your teammates right now.
It meant a lot that I could help my teammate out in a big way at the end of the game right then. I want to give a big shout out to Coach JP on the call he made, and my teammates for springing me free, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to block it.
Yeah, so let's kind of take us through. Take us into your helmet. What was the conversation like on the sidelines? There's a lot of time, right? A lot of time between the final play, and so you guys had some time to talk about what was going on defensively, and then coming out for the extra point, what's being talked about, and what's going through your mind. What did you see on that play?
Well, they had 1 second left on the clock, so we just was saying one play. We got one more play to finish the game. Unfortunately, it didn't end the way we wanted it to end, so we knew we just had to go out there on special teams and do whatever it took. And when the field goal block unit got out there, we was all talking. We were like, this is the play we got to make. We got to because we wasn't trying to go to overtime, so everybody was just like, do your part. Somebody's going to come free and get it. That's the whole conversation during the week, during special teams and practice. Pretend you the one going to go and get it. So don't take no plays off, and that's what we did, and we was able to do it.
Jared first got one earlier in the night on a field goal, and I know he was out there. Do you feel like his presence helped kind of spring you a little bit on that side of the line with what was going on up front?
Yeah, the very first kick they tried, we walked the tackle back. So he blocked me on the second one, Jared blocked it, and then on the last one he blocked Jared, and I came free. So it all worked out.
It did work out, that's for sure. You are absolutely right. Got some time, saw you last night in the secondary when you were out there. You were waving the crowd on, getting them hyped up, getting them ready to go. What was it like with that following with Noles fans last night, playing in that venue that has had national championships, Super Bowls on that field? From a player's perspective, had to be pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was. Just knowing that we got loving fans behind us is always big. You know, all we've been through, and we just needed that out there, and I appreciate everyone that was out there supporting us.
Yeah, no question about it. Your defensive coordinator, Adam Fuller, is going to join us next. And this defense, as we talked about right now, one of the best through 2 games, total defense, third down defense. What's that pride factor like, especially on third down? You guys are getting off the field in a big-time way right now, Shaheen.
That's the biggest thing. We had the biggest focus coming in camp because last year we was big on first and second down. We had much to improve on third down, and we just been working day in and day out during the week, during the practice to get it done, and it's showing well. The work is showing off.
Yep. You know, when you play a team like LSU, obviously there's going to be challenges. Their receiving core, very, very talented, but you guys took away a lot of their impactful threats in that game last night. Kind of take me through it. What was the preparation like, getting ready, and how did you feel like you guys executed the game plan last night?
Well, you finna interview the defensive coordinator. Yeah. He made a good game plan for us this week, and that's all we did. They were nothing that we didn't see on film, that we weren't prepared for, that we didn't practice for, and we just got the job done.
Take me through now the next week and a half or so. Bye a week, heal up a little bit, some bumps, some bruises, probably some self-evaluation, and getting ready for ACC play with Louisville next Friday.
Yeah, we got to get in the lab. Everybody get treatment. You know, we had bumps and bruises. Then we got some things we got to clean up offense and defensively. And even how good we played on special teams, we still got some things to clean up on special teams. So that's what this week going to be for.
You want a beignet?
No, I don't really eat sweets.
There you go. Hey, congratulations. Your name and that moment is going to be forever linked with iconic plays in Florida State football history.
Yes,
well
sir.
done. Shaheen Brown, ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause. An amazing play by himself and his teammates in special teams. Hey, get free local news and weather 24/7. Just search WTXL on your favorite streaming device and to watch local news and weather on your time. Coming up next, defensive coordinator Adam Fuller will stop by here, our main table, live from Cooshes in College Town. You're listening to Inside Seminole Football from Learfield. Back live, Cooshes in College Town. Our show rolled along here on Monday night. We appreciate everybody coming out. It was the Extra Point Club right off the bus, ladies and gentlemen. How about that group? So many great Noles fans coming back and joining us, being a part of the show with Mike Norvell, Shaheen Brown. And now let's give a big round of applause. His defense is cooking with Crisco, ladies and gentlemen. Defensive coordinator Adam Fuller. They are making plays, getting the job done, and doing what they need to do. I tell you what, you face a group coach like that LSU offensive group, and speed, talent, and you know, you've obviously seen pieces of the opposition, the game plan, knowing the coaches from previous stops, Mike Denbrock at Cincinnati when you were at Memphis and Marshall as well. But putting together a game plan, kudos to you guys for what you put together into going out and getting a win and making life difficult on that crew.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, it was a great team win. I think all 3 phases of the team contributed. Unfortunately, it came down to the end there, but you know, to finish that game and just to go into it, we put a lot into every game, but we knew the momentum. We knew how important it was for us to get off to a good start. I thought our team played really well. We played together, had to play through a lot of highs, but then had to play through a momentum swing there at the end. Yeah. But to see us finish and cap that thing off the way we did, you know, proud of our football team.
I have to go back, Coach. You know, on the first drive of the game, I want to say the LSU offense was around, 70 yards maybe of total offense, maybe less than that. Maybe it was 45, 46. But by midway through late in the third quarter, your defense had held them just to, I want to say, another just 40, 50 total yards of offense from the first drive to late in the third quarter of that contest. Kind of walk me through that window of what you saw for your team and what they executed out there on the field.
You know, I think I like the plan going in. We were going to be aggressive. We were going to be multiple with fronts. We were going to make sure we took care of the coverage. Quarterback got out a few more times we wanted him to. You know, but that first drive, you know, the first play of the game, you know, we brought a pressure on the first play, and ball just got outside of us. The quarterback scrambled, and Jared Verse played with so much energy that game, but kind of get caught up, and the ball got outside of him. And, you know, we had a penalty at the end of the play, too, and before you knew it, it was 1st and goal. They had a bad snap. We ended up holding them on 3rd down and held them a field goal. But from that point till about 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, you know, I thought our guys really settled down. You know, we went into it with a major pressure plan early, executed it really well, did a great job in the run game, you know, and just, you know, we knew that we had a lot of respect for those wide receivers and for the offense in general. We did a good job taking away all the over-top throws, did a pretty good job of matching the routes, you know, other than on one occasion. You know, quarterback did get out on us, you know, and a credit to him. You know, we had 4 sacks. We probably missed 3 and really could have had a really impactful night. But, you know, he did kick out of some, and, you know, that's something we got to do a better job with.
All across the board, when you beat a team like LSU, you got to have all 3 phases working together in unison. And I tell you, defensive line, as you mentioned, tremendous. I thought your linebackers, Kalen DeLoach last night, felt like he was on point. What did you see from him? It seemed like from the get-go, number 4 was locked in.
Yeah, well, with what we do coverage-wise, we were trying to make sure that we took some over-the-top throws away from those wideouts, which was going to leave a little bit of space for the quarterback on the scrambles. We just had to know, you know, those linebackers were going to be in hovering position. And, you know, the one good thing about us is we've recruited and developed kids that can run, you know, at linebacker, whether it's Tatum, whether it's DJ, whether it was DeLoach last night. And, you know, Kalen did a great job and some space plays on him. I know 2 in specific, the first drive and then 1 in the third quarter when that ball got out. You know, he tracked that thing down when Jared forced a holding penalty on one of them. And so it helps when you get guys at the middle of your defense that can chase the ball down.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Renardo Green, 8 tackles last night to lead the way for your group. And you knew that, and I'm sure as you talked about getting ready, you probably challenged your back end a little bit to say, hey, this is going to be obviously a game on a national stage. You're certainly going to be on display with what they do well.
Yeah. You know, I mean, they knew that they had good perimeter players, and, you know, I think our guys stepped up to the challenge. I think we can still be better technique-wise across the board in the back end, but we did stay connected to the receivers. And, you know, for the most part, you know, we challenged most of the throws, and, you know, Renardo was one of them. You know, he's come a long ways. You know, I think there's still a lot of good football left in him, and I think he's got a chance to build off of this past game and really have himself a good week of prep here coming in.
There we go. Here with Florida State defensive coordinator Adam Fuller, ladies and gentlemen. A 24-23 win by the Noles over LSU last night in New Orleans. And we are excited to be here at Couches in College Town. Back with one more segment with Coach coming up. But in a town for a game this fall, stay at 4 Points by Sheridan Tallahassee downtown. Located in an iconic round building across from the Florida State University campus. Parking always complimentary, plus free shuttle service to the airport and Doak Campbell Stadium. Make your hotel reservations at 4 Points by Sheridan, Tallahassee, downtown today. As we're live on ABC 27, more to come on the Seminole Sports Network from Learfield. And back in, one more segment here live from Couches in College Town following, wow, what a night at the Superdome in New Orleans. 24-23 win over LSU. The Noles are 2-0. Great to be joined by Florida State defensive coordinator Adam Fuller. And Coach, you know, as you've watched the film, kind of take me into your critique of your football team, some of the things that you saw. And, you know, talking with Coach Norvell, obviously you celebrate this one in a big-time way, but still, it wasn't like it was a perfect football game execution-wise. For me, you got teachable moments where you can get better in a lot of ways, it feels like.
Yeah, we had a lot of teachable moments. And, you know, I think our effort, our physicality, that was what was consistent from 1 to from the first play to the fourth quarter. I was pleased with the effort. I was pleased with the physicality. Our execution, our ability to stay connected on a lot of the pressures and on the coverages and just in our pocket presence with our rush, like there's a lot of room for improvement. And maybe the greatest thing about last night was the team win. You know, I just think the win, the way it played out, I think that stuff all will bode well for us throughout the season. But to see a lot of the players after the game, after they were excited for the team, see how disappointed they were in some of the mistakes that were made, you know, that's what gets you excited. Not because you want to see them not excited in the moment, but you do want to make them understand and let them understand that there's a lot more still out there for us. Because really the goal is for them to go play their absolute best each week. And when they can realize that they haven't, even the moments of success, shows you that there's really room for real live improvement.
Take me through what you're seeing with Jared Verse right now. 3 sacks through 2 games, 2.5 TFLs last night. Of course, a huge play in special teams with a blocked field goal. You knew he could be an impact guy. Your expectation of him through 2 games, he's obviously right there, I would imagine, with what he's doing so far.
Yeah, Jared's who we thought he would be. You know, he's a real high energy, powerful, fast player. You know, and credit to Shaheen, who had that block at the end of the game. You know, that starts with Jared Verse. It starts with that whole Pride unit on that first one. And, you know, you start doing good things on one side, it weakens up the other side. And, you know, I think Jared's going to help our entire defense. You know, he's played really hard, and he's been productive the first 2 games. And there's some things in his game that's got to get cleaned up. And, you know, he'll be challenged with that. I know he'll accept it, and excited to see what he's going to do this week.
Communication in that venue. We were just talking off air about the atmosphere. That's a loud place to go and play. Communication. What was the communication like from you to your team with some of the checks, some of the calls, and how'd you feel your guys handled some of that stuff last night in that venue and that atmosphere?
Yeah, actually, the first drive we were a little bit dirty with it. You know, I think the noise and the excitement. I don't think it hit our kids in a negative way, but I just don't think we handled it well in the first couple plays. Then we settled down and really played well late. You know, and even at the end on, you know, some of those quarterback scrambles, and even when, you know, that ball got checked down, you know, it wasn't really a communication thing. It was just more of an execution thing. I'd say for the most part, and I do want to give credit, like our fan base, they're the best in the world.
Oh, yeah.
And
Absolutely.
to be able to feel that energy from that time we got off the bus in New Orleans the night before the game till after kickoff, and it was constant. It was absolutely consistent. And, you know, I was just so proud the way, you know, we got to show what Florida State was all about, you know, on the field and off the field last night.
Pretty special. There's no question. You get excited for this one, obviously, and now you move forward, I know, and you go through the bye week and you turn the page. Louisville next Friday, another quarterback that moves around in Malik Cunningham. Can this experience, I know it's 2 different teams, 2 different players, but can this experience help in teaching and getting ready for another guy that's sort of a dual threat guy next Friday as you get ready?
Yeah, I mean, I respect the question, and it's all part of the experience. You know, this week's going to be really important for our growth over the next 4 days of just really to focus on the where we're at, where we're headed, kind of the identity that we've shown, what we're going to do to be able to increase the positive signs we've had and continue to build the proper depth and the mindset that we need. But Louisville's been a challenge. You know, we've got to do a great job as a football team to go over there and play them in a road venue and an ACC game. So our guys will be ready. We'll be excited about it. And we'll take the time this week to make sure we're focused on us.
There you go. Hey, Coach, congratulations. That was a game for the ages in so many ways. Thanks so much for coming out.
Thank you. Appreciate
you.
it. Thank you, buddy.
There you go.
Thanks, guys.
That's Adam Fuller, ladies and gentlemen, Florida State defensive coordinator, with us live from Cousha's in College Town. Hey, behind the scenes of Seminole Athletics, there's a community of supporters who pledge their personal resources to provide all teams with the greatest opportunities for success. That's Seminole Boosters, the largest source of funding for Florida State athletics, and serves as a difference maker for our athletic programs. You can join the team behind the team for only $5 per month. Learn more or join today at SeminoleBoosters.com. That's SeminoleBoosters.com. That'll do it for us. Big thank you, Mike Norvell, Shaheen Brown, Adam Fuller. Thank you for coming on out to Cousha's in College Town. My name is Jeff Culhane. Fire up the war chant and plant the spear. The Noles are 2-0, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great night.